okay? Like, all bets were off. Poor guy.
I learned a lot.
We're doing monkey bars.
So we get to the final track on the album. It's one that I think I can speak, maybe not for everybody, but certainly for a lot of us. It kind of came out of nowhere. It was a tune that didn't sound like anything else that we had heard. Yeah, it was rock, but it had a great sense of humor, and there was just something about it that was different than everything that was on the radio in 1982. The song, of course, is Monkey Bars. And before we get to the song's lyrics, one of the things about it is that amazing guitar work that Steve Shelsky put into it that you do so well as well. John, first of all, you know, we talked a little bit about the guitar already, but what was Steve Shelsky doing there? What did you hear as a guitar player?
Well, I just want to say, across the board, on all the albums that Steve played on, his work is impeccable. It's a masterclass in how to craft high energy, highly melodic guitar parts. It's an honor to play those parts. Steve Shelsky, one of Canada's great guitar players. That's number one. I just want to say that through learning that stuff, he's become a big influence because he's a school jazz musician, as well as having all the great rock attitude, right? But in that solo, this was a very confounding thing for young Canadian guitarists. When we heard this solo, we were like, what is happening? And we thought maybe it was Kim Mitchell who was playing the solo because, you know, it was so outside, you know. I always said Kim was the guy who brought like art rock to Northern Ontario, right? You know, he was our Frank Zappa, really, in a lot of ways. But yeah, so when I first got the call to play with Coney Hatch, I was playing with Nelly Furtado. And I was in South America, actually, and I'm so excited, but I know I'm going to have to face this guitar solo, and I go, I don't even know what's happening here. But one of the singers in Nelly's band had studied jazz. She goes, I think it's Donna Lee, but in a different key. I think they're playing it with different chords. I'm like, oh. So I went out and bought the Charlie Parker Blue Book. It's Donna Lee is a jazz standard, and I read it, and I learned it. And so that was the only way I'd have a fighting chance in hell, and I still don't have a fighting chance in hell most times approaching that song. But Steve, you know, what Steve did there to incorporate those influences, really groundbreaking. And I just want to say one more thing. I just finished writing a book about pointy guitars, and I interviewed a lot of guitar players. When they found out I played with Coney Hatch, they all talk about that solo. American, European, guitar players from all over the place really appreciate that. So once again, kudos to Steve Shelsky.
Absolutely, one of the greats.
And then there's the lyrics.
Is that about the Chaudière and the gasworks and the rondon?
Okay, so first off, that was one of the very first songs Coney Hatch ever wrote. I don't think the lyrical content was groundbreaking. Let's call a spade. I don't think I'm going to win any literary prizes for the nursery rhyme chorus that's happening. Some guy on Facebook wrote to my brother, you know, those lyrics are a piece of shit, you know, or something like that. And I was like, well, yeah, but I wasn't trying to be...
it's just a bit of fun.
Yeah, you know, I'm no Lightfoot, okay?
I have to raise a little point here. When I came to join the band, well, to meet the band, in answer to the dramatic musical talent section 635 of the classical Toronto Star, they were playing at the new Shamrock Hotel, just a block or two from here at Coxwell and Gerrard. And that's where I went to meet you guys, and it was with the previous singer, Paul Van Remortel. They had all these songs, and they were just this weird amalgam of new wave and jazz and strangeness, and then these words that Andy was making up to go with them. And I'm watching them, and I'm thinking, I'll give them kudos for, wow, having a lot of original songs in the set, in between bashing out the AC/DC and the UFO stuff or whatever. And then I'm thinking, but these are the weirdest original songs I've ever heard.
Yes.
Monkey Bars was among them. That's the one song that was shining through and made it to the final. Final cut.
Yeah. So I've said this before in interviews, but the cool thing about tonight that we really wanted to make happen, there's a movie called Meet the Fockers, all right? Everybody knows it. And there's a circle there, and the dude is on the outside. And our goal tonight was to bring all of you into the circle, okay? That's what we wanted to do tonight. So all of these little stories, hopefully we didn't bore you with them, but we wanted to bring you in because guys like John Derringer got to do those interviews every day. They were in the inside circle, right? So I've mentioned about Monkey Bars, one of the first songs that we ever wrote, and we were playing, I believe, somewhere in New Brunswick or somewhere out east. Yeah. So the club owner, we were playing there for the full week, and the club owner comes in and lays this pearl of wisdom on us, okay? He's like, you fellas, you want to know when you're doing good? You look out into the parking lot and you count the cars there, and if the parking lot's full, you guys are going to be doing great. Thank you for that. That's a good thing, right? But whenever we rolled up and played, like the basement of the Shoddy area was called the Green Door. That place was a dive bar, okay? And Dave and I were like, oh my God, another monkey bar. Here we go. It's another monkey bar. So I'm thinking monkey bars, dude in New Brunswick, counting the cars, and then I make up this nursery rhyme, like swinging stars, count the cars by the monkey bars, right? And so we start playing it in the peanut butter days, and it's going over gangbusters. And we're like, what's going on with this song? Like people, even before we had a record deal, the point I'm making is, we finished recording the album, we've recorded Monkey Bars, and the record company says, yeah, it's not going on the album. Didn't make the cut, and I'm like, what the fuck are you guys talking about, right? So I'm like a one-man army going, but it goes over really well. Our fans, yeah, they were gonna, and I think our buddy Ray Daniels was like, yeah, this is a throwaway tune. Okay, we'll put it on track number 10. So it barely made the album by the skin and the teeth because I was like fighting for it. So fast forward, I think it's become a bit of a fan favorite.
Yeah. Track 10, Monkey Bars.
You want to play those Steve Shelsky chords?
They call these expensive chords in the rock world.
Toronto